in this locality we had 3 former schools, one which was Cornwallis, which was actually doing an excellent job, but 2 schools that were failing. One of them was in special measures and one in serious weaknesses. So the problem that we had really was, how do we bring about change across a locality? And fundamental to that was actually looking at how we support schools to work in partnership. At the same time, we were writing our secondary strategy, and part of that was the development of hard federations where we brought schools together so that they had one person overseeing them and one governing body. It does take time in education because you can't actually introduce a policy or a new strategy and then have immediate effects. It does take time for it to actually come through so that the community understands what's going on and for it to affect the outcomes in terms of levels of attainment. The school has managed to fund these changes. Some of it came from funding that they had for the Hard Federation in the first place. Some was a loan from the local authority to actually develop their IT systems and to buy computers for young people, because that was seen as absolutely fundamental to the changes that they wanted to do. Despite some of that additional funding that these schools have had, the majority of it has actually come from the schools looking at their own finances and restructuring the way they actually spend money. So they were very clear about what they wanted to prioritise and then develop their budget so that they could do the things that they wanted to do. The government initiative is actually saying you can't just look at what's going on in the classroom. You've actually got to look at a whole other host of factors, and that's around the family, the community. It's about health of young people and their safety. And bringing those together is a challenge for schools, because they've actually got to look at not just their classroom practice but what's going on in the whole of the community. They've led the way on the development of emotional intelligence and the relationships agenda, but also on data and how they can actually use that in a way that actually allows them to personalise the agenda for young people for the future. In any innovative work that I've seen, that's not to say it's always perfect first time, and people do want to make adaptations and changes to what they're doing, and I know that that's the case with the plaza here, but I think generally it's proven that actually you can be successful and still maintain the standards that you have by doing things differently. It's the package that you need. So to say just change the environment wouldn't work. To introduce just IT wouldn't work. To actually train the staff in emotional intelligence skills probably wouldn't work. It's the combination of bringing those factors together that makes these schools unique and successful.